Hello, everyone. My name is Gil Penalosa, and this is Cities for Everyone, the webinar where every other Tuesday I invite fascinating people to share their story with all of us so that all of us can learn and become even more passionate advocates. Advocates on what? On creating cities that are sustainable, equitable, and playful. Originally, I'm from Bogota, Colombia, but now I've been living in Toronto for 25 years. And 19 years ago, I created 880 cities. And today's guest is fascinating. I've been to Barcelona many times. I have worked in over 350 cities around the world, but Barcelona is a city that is very good, but it's getting better every single day. It's the classical example of continuous improvement. Today we have Maria Truñó. Maria was Commissioner of Education from 2019 to 2023 and is a world expert on play. So today she's going to be talking about towards playable cities, Barcelona's plan for play for children of all ages. Maria, welcome. Thanks for accepting the invitation, and we have hundreds and hundreds of people from all over the world eager to learn from you. The only city that we have done three sessions is Barcelona. We did one on the super blocks, we did one on cycling, and today we're going to do one in play. Not even Toronto, where I'm from, we've done three, so only Barcelona. And the nice thing is that Barcelona is good. It's not fantastic. The cities are is a process of continuous improvement. So always, but Barcelona is always improving. That's what is so nice. That is good, but they have not become complacent. They continue to improve. Now share your screen and tell us a little bit about who you are and share your screen and welcome.
Okay, so thank you, Gil, first of all, for your kind invitation, and thanks also all of you for your interest and attention. So it's a pleasure to share the experience of Barcelona with its plan for play in the public space with an horizon, not a short term but a long term with horizon 2030. And let me introduce Barcelona with three pictures. One from the plains view, where you can see the 100 square kilometers of the city, surrounded by the Mediterranean Sea, the mountain, and two rivers. Another picture with the birds view, where you can see Sagrada Familia and also some plazas, which are very important places for public and social life in the city. And finally, also the perspective of a young child eye view, about 1 meter high, in a street close to my home, recently renewed, that became kind of avenue. And it's important to keep in mind this child point of view during the presentation and also for this planning for play. So Barcelona is a global city with less than 2 million of citizens, but 5 million with a metropolitan area, and also with 10 million of tourists visiting yearly. So it has very high density, a very high pressure um, over the public space, which is limited and very appreciated. So this idea that the challenge actually is more about reuse and recycle the public space rather than growing or producing more public space, which is an important point with this idea of introducing playability in this urban um, transformation and public space. Mm, there is also an important point that is that children and teens actually in the city are decreasing, the number of them, for many factors. But however, 1 in 5 homes are with families with kids and teens. So this is very important. But however, there are specific needs of outdoor play and social meeting. It was not clearly addressed as a policy until the Plan for Play launched 5 years ago. So this point of why a plan for play in public space, I'll give you 4 reasons. The first of all is well, children have the right to play, and that's a human right. It's not a kind of optional thing. But moreover, Barcelona has a recognition as a child-friendly city since more than a decade ago. So it had the commitment to improve children's rights and lives. So the UN Convention of the Rights of on the Child, it says important things like rest, play, and free time are as important for the child development as food, health, or education. And this is a kind of main idea, uh, important to keep in mind, but actually play is commonly known as a forgotten right. And nowadays, it's not only forgotten, but there is a huge challenge to reverse the deficit, this lack of outdoor playing uh, that is decreasing each time. And even more, it's not just about a trend or a lack of outdoor playing, but there's also inequities in other children's play. And this is important in terms of focusing, prioritizing in spaces and deprived neighborhoods. So I also add a small picture of a recently report, The Power of Play, based on a global survey to children. And there is a very interesting fact. It says that there is 1 in 4 kids who nowadays play regularly in the street all over the world, while their grandparents were 3 in 4 who spent time playing outdoors in a regular basis. So just to take the dimension of this decreasing through generations. So we need cities for everyone, as Gil always say, but without forgetting childhood needs and specific rights, focusing in most vulnerable. A second reason, beyond childhood, play benefits everyone's health and well-being. So a healthier city, it must imply a focus and understanding of the social importance of play, both physical health and mental health, because playing is a prevention of sedentary lifestyle, obesity, screen abuse. So it's important playing, mostly also focused in active playing, really vigorous playing. In terms of mental health, there's lots of evidences about the benefit in the emotional well-being of playing outdoors. Moreover, with the idea of sharing play, it's not only an individual playing, but collaborative and collective play. It reduces the time pressure about productivity and very straight timetables, and also promotes and improves self-regulation and autonomy from the childhood, from other ages. A third reason, maybe are not the this reason and the fourth one maybe are not that obvious as the previous one about the right to play and health. This one is about the social relevance of playing, because play raises community life. So with the idea of getting and making, building more inclusive, more caring, more livable cities, it's important to put in the center these playful spaces and suitable environments to mix from different social and cultural backgrounds, So understand that playful spaces actually are used and are and perform like common places for the diversity and mixture, and are very relevant in terms of making stronger and more caring community bonds, which is a very important issue because of our growing challenge to fight against social isolation and loneliness. I know that it's not only in Barcelona, but it's actually a global concern. The fourth reason, play as part of climate action. It can be a part of climate action and nature-based solutions towards a more sustainable city. Because when we say planning for play, it's not just about um, adding playing equipment or playing elements, but reshaping, rethinking all the built environment, introducing more green and shade. That's very, very important because of the climate change, also on the heat waves. So this more naturalized environment to ensure that all of us, we can play in contact with nature, uh, urban nature. It's not, uh, forest or wild nature, but very important one. And also, when we are working for better places to play, we are advancing also changes in terms of safer and more accessible public space. So we are also addressing the challenge to reduce pollution, to reduce cars, in the presence of cars in our cities, their speed and the parking and occupation of the public space. So with these four reasons in mind, we ask ourselves how to think in a plan for play as a pioneer planning in the city. It was the first time, and we organized with all the actions and goals with these three strategic axes. Actually, we call it sometimes 3P. The first P, it doesn't work in English, but in Spanish and Catalan, it's the P for piedra, which means stone, and it's related to playful infrastructure. So the gray part. So it's about getting and building more and better play opportunities in public space to because so the city can offer a playful infrastructure to become a playable city. So let's focus now in this idea of the infrastructure itself. The infrastructure goes beyond the obvious. It's not only about playgrounds and schoolyards that we call the first layer, because the two playful spaces already thought and designed and previously structured as a place for play. But it goes beyond this because it also adds this idea, as you can see in the drawing, it adds a second layer, which is out the school, the surrounding of schools on one side, and also playful spaces. So in parks and plazas, squares, this idea of that actually we have already confirmed that children and people play not only in the specific places and segregated places for play, but they tend to play everywhere and as much as possible. And the third layer would be the whole city itself as a playable city, and with probably it's the more fortuitous play and playful activity that happens in permanently or temporary pedestrian streets, traffic calm streets, wide pavements, um, where you have play friendly urban furniture, or also sports equipment like basketball or ping pong table. And so the idea that improving all the planning with these three layers in mind. Apart from the layers, the infrastructure, it has been rethink and redesigned as a work in progress, obviously, because there are lots of play spaces in the city. But the rethinking, the new criteria are mostly focused not in only in safe and easily to maintain, but increasing the playability itself. So this idea of the quality of play in the playful spaces, it maybe it can seem obvious because you want to have fun as an adult with your kids or as a caregiver, and also in our memories as a kids, it's obvious that we want to meet others and have fun with others while playing, but sometimes this criteria of playability wasn't that clear previously. I mean, before the plan established these seven criteria. Let me go fast to review this criteria. First of all, the idea of activities. So it's not focusing on the element, but the maximize the activities with this idea I was telling about challenging and creative activities and not boring and standardized playgrounds or proposals. First. Second, the idea of the spaces themselves are also and has to be playful, so connected, stimulating, and offering diversity of um, uh, ambiences and environments. Three, the idea of inclusive play. So, in terms of age, gender, social and cultural backgrounds, and functional diversity. It's easy to say and not that easy to really find these spaces that really are mm, suitable and are attractive for all the diversity of people. And this is a very, very important goal. For, as I said before, it's related with the criteria of it's not just playing, but playing with contact with nature. So greenery and play with water, sun. This is very, very a key question in terms of health. Uh, Five, it's about sharing the experience of playing. So improving elements and improving um, the design in order to improve more play in not individually but collectively. For instance, as you can see in the picture, it's not the same a narrow slide than a wider one where you can go and slide as a group or in a very uh, more creative ways and share your experience. Six, the idea of taking into account caregivers' needs. It's not only about children or and play activity, but also um, the comfort in terms of habitability. That means benches, shade, water, toilets, things, important things to stay longer in the playful space, so you can really achieve this goal of making community life livable and more communal living as we said also before. And seven, it's going also from the idea of a playground or a specific place with its own project of design, uh, going from there to a playful ecosystem perspective. So assume that each space maybe cannot cover all the diversity of playful activities that we would like, but with the idea of ecosystem, a playful ecosystem, you can really design and sing with this idea of proximity and the city of 15 minutes. You have a wide range of opportunities, play opportunities in your zone. This is quite the same, but in drawing and in Catalan. So let's go on, and I've shown you now many pictures about two very important and key programs related to the plan for play. One is first layer, schoolyard. So the program is called Let's Transform Schoolyards, and it's about transforming into a greener, more shade, and also more diverse opportunities for play and co-educational approach, so gender approach also in the experience in the schoolyard. This is you should imagine here the same picture, but all the schoolyard, it used to be actually a sports field, which is fine, but and it keeps on the part of the schoolyard as a sport field, but not all of it. And because we need to diversify the spaces, and also, as you can see, the generating other options and more naturalized environment. Here is the same idea. Actually, these two pictures, these two schools were in the very beginning of this program. Actually, it was a pilot project of the European Union to build schools as climate shelters, and it was Barcelona worked with this as with Paris as a partner. And this when once the pilot project finished, the important point is that the program keep on working, and up to now there are about 70 schoolyards already transformed, co-created with school communities, and half of them are used as climate shelters while there is a heat wave in the city. Here is another project with the same schoolyards transformation. Another one, you can see the smallest picture. You have the dimension of how it used to be, all only just sports field, and gray surface, and now more naturalized. Okay, and secondly, another program very very important in the city, and it's related with the idea of super blocks that Xavi Matilla explained in another webinar. It's Let's Protect Schools. It has a very clear idea that it's making gaining a plaza, a square for each school in the city, and doing this by removing parking lines, reducing traffic of the cars and speed cars also, and introducing playable elements, seating solutions, and also a few greenery. So here you can see hand in the right hand side there is the entrance of the school, and it's quite clear the change and how the new plaza, the new square emerged with this transformation. This is another one. Not that I mean, here the cars can go also along the street, but no, but it doesn't. It used to have two parking lines and two traffic lines, and now you see there's only so it's reduced to half of the surface occupied by cars. Another one, it's more focused on the corner where there was only parking and motorcycle parking. Now there is a square, and here another one in a square. So you can see this is a kind of we call it sometimes urban acupuncture, with this idea of small interventions, but very important in terms of daily life and gaining opportunities for gathering and playing spontaneously. Here, I would like to show you the transformation of one plaza, one square, into a park. And this idea of the second layer I told you before, you can see in the left hand side, there is actually a playground, but kids can play there, but can play everywhere, and physical activity can happen everywhere, also in the park, very naturalized. And it's important that you can see that there are children playing, uh, as I said, beyond playground, and using spaces in a very playful way and creatively way. Okay, the second axis is about, it's not about piedra, it's not about stone, it's not about infrastructure, but about P for people, for personas, and it's about habits and uses and behavior. So maybe we can have a very, very well designed and the best infrastructure, playfulest infrastructure in the world. But another thing is that people effectively play. So here there are another kind of actions to really move forward to be a more played city. And the programs for this promotion of outdoor playing are programs like opening schoolyards at the weekend, on holiday. Nowadays, for instance, there are about 80 schoolyards from public nursery, primary schools, and secondary schools that open regularly out of school time. And it's a very well-known program in the city. Another program is Let's Play in the Plaza. And in that case, there are about 50 squares, plazas in the city, mainly in the summertime, that offer kind of pop-up options and proposals to kind of recuperate the habit of going out and play outdoors and meet other families. And these are very focused on from early childhood. Another program is the one called Place 099, which is a kind of outdoor game room for all the ages, similar to 80 of Bill. And it's also an intervention, interesting and very well well developed in terms of satisfaction of the citizens. And finally, the program Let's Open Streets, which is this idea of temporary close the street to the traffic and open to the citizens. And this happens in some main streets, in some districts, at weekends. Let's move to the third and last strategic axis, which is about it's about paradigm. So the third P for paradigm shift, with this idea to promote that play gains ground in public policies and social agenda. And this implies things and actions like removing obstacles to play, like the signals that's forbidden to no ball games, to transform them into a more positive message like we children play with respect. And apart from these kind of obstacles, this shift of paradigm and consolidating play policy, it also requires generating knowledge about how do we play, how are the spaces valorated, there is satisfaction, what should be improved. And that's why there are different evaluations done and in process. And also there was a very important survey in the city with more than 7,000 answers related to the playful infrastructure. So the last three slides, kind of to sum up this idea of the paradigm shift. I would say that playability, and it goes and has to go with habitability. So the idea of going from thinking only in playgrounds elements, which it was the, the ancient way to think on play in the city, to offering diversity of activities, not elements, but activities for play and also for say. That's why playability and habitability in this idea of playful ecosystem. So at least in Barcelona, the challenge is not about quantity of elements or quantity of playgrounds, but quality of play and social activities. And that's why this shift it's important. Another very, very important point is this idea of playful infrastructure. It's actually, and it has to be thought and understood as a public service, as a kind of outdoor public service. So the work is not about running playgrounds related to cleaning, maintenance, design, blah, 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 but to planning play as another urban infrastructure important for the city as because it's related to a public and common good. And finally, obviously, everything it goes very, very close to children because play, apart from being a right to play, it's a very daily need of our children all around the world as animals and mammifers. But it's important that we have to start with children, but not finishing with them. So it's not only something like kids, kids playing. No, it's about everyone well-being through play. So the shift here important to do is from just a children's or private or a family matter, move to an everyone's interest and a really public issue that contributes to equitable, caring, and healthier cities for people. And well, that's it. Thank you very much.
What is your call to action? I loved how you describe step by step the plan so that people can also adapt this plan of play. What is your call to action to get people creating cities that are more playful? Because the playful cities really attract people. So it's good for economic development, it's good for the environment, it's good for health, mental and physical. Uh, what is your call to action to everyone who has been listening very carefully and taking notes on everything that you have said? And Maria, it has been a wonderful session.
Okay, I would say that playability must be an ingredient, key ingredient for any menu in urban policies, urban thinking, urban planning, and that's related to urbanism, design, planning, blah blah blah. But there is also another side of the coin, which is playful attitude, playful time and habit. So and this is maybe it's an appeal also to the personal role apart from the professional one, or our activist one. So keep in mind that there are technical and policies issues to move forward and to keep on pushing to transform the city, but also in terms of personal priorities, to really keep in mind that play during all life, all along life, is very very important, and it's and thanks to play we can keep on transforming our cities to for people, for better places to grow, to live and to enjoy in.
Thank you, Maria. And let's keep in mind what Maria said is not only we need good infrastructure, but also good uses. It's the programs, it's the activities. Let's keep in mind that fun is a feeling. Fun is not an activity. It's a feeling. And when we play, we get that feeling of joy and joyful. Let's create cities where children of all ages will be able to live healthier and happier. Maria and everyone that has been connected, thank you very, very much. And we'll see everyone 2 weeks from today on Ending Sprawl. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Maria, thank you. Thank you very much. What a nice presentation. You showed how play is so critical for everybody, children of all ages. But why is it? You showed it's good for mental health, for physical health, for happiness. Playing is how children learn. Also, it's an issue of equity. Inequality is felt mostly in the leisure time. So we all learn wonderful ideas, wonderful examples, and I hope that everybody who watches this video will share it with decision makers, with elected officials, with senior staff, with the media, with advocates, so that we'll have more playable cities all over the world. Maria, thank you, and the hundreds of participants from over 30 countries. Thanks for showing up, and I'll see you 2 weeks from now.